Hi Trevin, you did a nice job with your series. I did have a little bit difficulty with your file format, and that's just one thing I wanted to point out to you. So you had listed these as .jpegs, and they didn't open up that way. And so given the context clues that you gave me in your essay, and then also obviously in the file names, I realized that they were Photoshop files with .psd, so I just changed the extension and it opened up. I actually like that you did it this way as a Photoshop file, because it allows me to see the edits that you did and all the adjustment layers. And I really like the thought process you put in to the way that you edited these, and I think that you're definitely on the right track. Doing these as adjustment layers will always allow you to re-edit these if you decide that it wasn't quite right the first time. So for example, if you wanted to warm this up a little bit, you could go ahead and you can change the colors. So anyways, that's really the benefit of having these kind of adjustment layers, is it allows you to go back after the fact and make changes if you really need to. Now the other thing that I like that you did is that you have your original file as a smart object. Now some of these have, after you cropped it and did your edits, came out a little bit small. So if we look at the image size, okay, that's a poor example. If we look at the image size, we see that a little tiny compared to what the assignment specs were. However, because you included these as smart objects, I'm able to go back and look at the original, which is of course plenty big. I also like that I can see how you edited these, so I better understand what you were doing for your vision. So anyways, I appreciate that quite a bit. Looking through all of your images, so you have a nice diversity here. I'm really appreciate how you combined something that you like with the assignment, and definitely, as you said, using a photograph to make sure that your technique is accurate. It's a great way to use photography. We talk about in this class, obviously photography is an art form, but it can be a very useful tool as well, and I think that you did a good job with that. Including just some of your bows, your bow and some of the arrows as you did here, I think is also nice. I like that you have it here kind of as a simplified composition, but then you took it out and kind of in the field and kind of gives the, not that you're hunting obviously in your backyard, but this kind of seems more in context of how it would be used. We can see how the camouflage actually works very well on the bow itself, and so I think all of those things work well together. You gave us some nice diversity, different points of view, shooting the front of yourself, and then photographing you from a different angle, photographing you from behind. All of those things add some nice visual diversity to the series. The one last thought I had before I go is, for this particular image, I think that your framing was off just a little bit. Now, I know that you said that you had this set up as a tripod and then you would set the timer and then go and get in position. That definitely makes things much more difficult. This is the kind of thing that is much easier if you have somebody else helping you. Not to say that you're technically they're all very good, your exposures are generally right where they need to be. But for this particular image, you have all of this part of the scene behind you that doesn't really add to the composition. If you had instead, and I'm just going to kind of give you an example, if you can follow, if you would instead go with something like this, kind of gives you room for the arrow to kind of proceed through it, in your imagination obviously. It would be a little bit of a stronger composition, maybe even something along that line. Overall, I think you made a lot of really good choices with your assignment, and I'm glad that you got something out of it in addition to what you got out for the assignment itself. Let me know if you have any questions.